And don't. Hello, everyone. My name is Dara. Oh, welcome to another episode of Fun Times McGee. I hope everyone's. Oh, hello. Sorry. Hello. I didn't know my mic wasn't on. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another DaraChat by myself, of course. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Uh, I had one plate and I was done because I can't do much anymore. So that was fun. But yeah, I had a nice Thanksgiving. I hope you guys did too. I ended up I may have gone for a walk a bit just to work up some of that access, but it was not a pretty time. I think they don't want to be full till Christmas, and even then I think I might pass on that a bit. But anyway, how are all of you doing? I am down. Oh, hello, everyone. My name is Sam. Oh, welcome to another episode of. Sorry, I was hearing myself, which isn't always a fun thing. Uh, oop, it's always the thing where you gotta like restart all your stuff. There we go. All right. Few things first and done. Goodness. Okay. So, uh, where was I? Yes. So I don't eat as much as I used to anymore. Um a plate is not much of a plate as much as it used to be. Like as a kid, I remember I could like there's a place we used to go to. It was called Old Country Buffet, and you would be able to like I'd be able to go like for two plates and dessert. Nowadays, I'm I'm scraping on one. So I'm trying to hold back on going big big tubso or something to that effect. It's just ugh. I don't want to overdo myself with all that stuff, but I hope you guys had a good eating because I know most people will make all the nice things and then they'll have leftovers that'll provide them with, oh, sorry, with like weeks worth of um leftovers of for lunch for lunches uh, until it's done. So think I got food coma after that one. I don't know where I am, but I don't know what's going on. Uh, yeah, it's been something. So, but I've had the whole week off, or at least took the whole week off. So, it's been nice, but I kind of see myself. I have just something like that, which was funny. Uh, the movie itself was sort of it was funny in the sense like you learn about this guy's story, which is sad and interesting all in one go. Um, but it kind of felt like one of the characters, which was based on a real person, it felt like one of the characters was going to be like, it almost felt like during a time, I felt it was going to be like a love interest, or it felt like they were kind of pushing towards that. And that was just my feeling of it. I'd probably give the movie a 6 out of 10. It wasn't that great. It was good, but it wasn't that great. I wouldn't go back for it. Um, Taika Waititi does some pretty good stuff with humor, but not all the time. So, but that's just me. But yeah, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. And it did feel like at a certain point they were trying to push a, if you go and see it, they were trying to push a certain character. It felt like they were trying to push a certain character to sort of be in this relationship with them. That's the feeling I was getting. Um, I mean, it might have been like, it might be because it's been so worked into the system where we feel like this thing is going to happen, but it felt like that from looking at it. So, I'm not going to say what because we all know what happens when you speak out against something you don't agree with. So, uh, yeah, yeah. And what else was I? There was something else I wanted to discuss, but it's just a bore that of how. social media is. Um, oh, what was it? I guess I'll try and find to show it, but um, it was. Uh, hold on. Okay, so I'm not gonna turn on the sound for this one, but I will show you what I was looking at. Uh, okay. So I saw this, and I was like, okay, I guess I don't know what they're trying to point out other than that they're, I guess, turning a Thanksgiving into a celebrity Thanksgiving, I guess. Um, I'm not gonna play any sound because Lord knows I'm gonna get copyright or whatever that stupidity is. Say millennial humor is so empty, the relationships are empty, and I was like, okay, but well, what does that matter? I mean, for me, it's like, what does that matter to you? Because you're not gonna change anything of the sort. And I get down, and I'm like, you know, and he asks the question, why do people get mad at what I say and not by the current state of our society? And then I look at this and I'm like, but you're trying to sell something here. And it says women needs to hear this, men needs to hear this. So in the end, this guy was just selling something because I mean, we can all complain about how our society is right now. Obviously, we all can do that. But when you come down to here, it's more or less a complaint and more of a buy from me and I'll fix what's wrong scenario. Which, what was that saying? If there's something you enjoy, don't do it for free or whatever. But for me, it's just like you're not really giving a solution. You're just giving I need to get paid for this solution. Yeah, and it's just whatever. I didn't really care beyond that. But the thing of it was, is I just saw this and I was like, and it's been, quote retweeted and all that stuff. But for me, it's just, I don't know. When I saw this, I was like, yeah, you're not in it for solving things. You're in it for getting paid for something. So I digress. Uh, and oh, sorry, hold on, let me get back to that. So there was someone else, uh, and they said on social stuff on Eastern said okay, and but then I asked, when did their adult life become my adult responsibility? Yeah, I don't. I get other people gonna have different ideas, but the my issue was, when did someone's adult life become my adult responsibility? Yeah, if someone's in trouble and you want to help, that's great. But think of when you see those videos of someone getting a fight, right? Like a brawl or whatever, and the thought is, well, or some lady is getting screamed at or whatever, and the thought is why don't you get in there and stop the fight? It's like, I don't want to die or get hurt or anything because this person is just gonna up and punch me in the face because I am I am I still on? Hello? Hello? Uh no. Hello? Hello? Okay. I thought my voice was off or something. But anyway, it's the sort of thing where it's like, oh my gosh, the world is that wrong, and what are you gonna do about it and all this stuff. I'm like, well, what are you gonna do about it? It's great to point and complain and say there must be something to be done, but what? And then you try to harangue other people into like, what about your solution? What are you gonna do? Like, why aren't you asking yourself that question? You know? Um, oh, did I gotta do noise suppression. Yeah, I'm still seeing my stuff in. Uh, yeah, everything seems to be fine so far. Um, let me let me check something real quick. Sorry, guys. Just want to make sure that, yeah, I'm still, yep, all right, I'm still being heard. Um, but anyway, um, I just find it fascinating when we, um, we come to a point where we're asking others what they're gonna do, but we don't ask ourselves on what we're gonna do. Like there's a whole thing of the population thing, and I'm like, okay, well that's great, but what are you gonna do about it? Because if you're asking someone else what they're gonna do, but not yourself first, then you first can't start with the problem at all. Like you know how they say, uh, you know, to have peace start with yourself, that sort of thing. Mm, Not everyone's meant to be a world solver, and to come up to someone and ask, what are you gonna do about it? And they say, I don't know. It's like, well, it's your fault that this, and this. Like, no, it's your inability to look within yourself and figure out what can I do to change that? Or if I see such wrong, why wouldn't I take the necessary steps to help do that? And people say, well, you can't do it alone. But then you have things like, well, one person can change the world and all this is all the idioms that you can say as a human being. And it's just this circle of back and forth and all this stuff. Like, you know, where are the idea makers, the candle, whatever, and all this jazz. I almost feel like people complain more than they can resolve, but even if they try to resolve, it's not the correct solution. But no one seems to come up with a correct solution. Many can, what's the term? Uh, many can have a correct solution that many could grasp onto and follow. You know, it's all it's all this or that, one way or another. It's never something more than. It's always questioning someone else, seeing what they'll do. And then when you're asked what you'll do, and you say you'll do this, but you don't do that, the time of reflection is action, but the time of action is just complacency. It's all complacency. One way or another, it feels like a complacency. I don't know. I'm just speaking on my perspective on what I've seen so far. Odd as it is, you know. But I just thought I'd share that because it was something that popped up and my mind kind of was like, wait a second, what are you doing about it? Oh, I'm selling something, so the answer's behind the paywall. But wait, wait, the answer's behind a paywall. If you're so ingrained into humanity, why wouldn't you just preach it? If you believe in it so much, why wouldn't you just preach that? Well, you can't. I'm not gonna do it for free. I gotta feed myself too. So do they. When do you think they're gonna have the money to take your solution, your answer? I don't know. It just feels weird to me. When you try to sell something that uh when you're trying to sell when you try to say you have an answer but you're in the end you're just selling something. It's it almost feels like you don't have an answer, you're just trying to make money. Don't get me wrong. We all have to have, we all need to make money to pay our bills and all this stuff. It's horrendous, but it is what it is. But we don't take a step back at people who say they're gonna sell us something and give us that answer, and when it turns out the answer is not gonna work for us, or how they're thinking and doing way is just we just don't find uh, that answer, and it just feels like a sold ride, if it makes sense. I I you can buy all the what is it? One second. You can buy all the courses, manuscripts, PDFs, all you want, but what does it change in you? Maybe there's a lesson you get out of it, which is fine, whatever. Um, but what do you get out of it? What do you get out of someone teaching you a course that's of their own thinking but not of yours, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, one can change their way of thinking, but I've got to be honest. Um, but what do you get out of it? There we go. Okay, just make sure. Uh, Sorry, I'm paying attention to make sure my backhand is still working because you never know. OBS likes to be finicky sometimes. Um, yeah, I don't get it much anymore. When you try to say you have a solution and then you hide it behind a paywall and say everyone must read this in order to see it. I'm like, well, the Bible's pretty much free, so so you can go to the library and get books. Um, so do it for free, then it's sort of blah. But if you pay for it, you're gonna pay attention to it more, and you're gonna probably learn more and all that stuff. I'm like, possibly. I mean, I'm learning Japanese through Duolingo, and I don't. I've gotten a family plan, but before I was doing that, uh, I what was that? I was doing it for free, and so you have to wait for your hearts to replenish and all that stuff. But I was doing it for free, and the only annoying thing about it was the ads, but that was easy to manage. I mean, once the ads were done, you get right back into it. But it's the constant reminder of the app, like, hey, your streak's almost over. You don't want to lose it, which is true. So they've sort of set up this game-like system in order to learn a language. And I'm remembering some stuff so far. You kind of have to go back for refreshers, but it works to its intended use, at least for what I feel. Um, but yeah, it just seems like if you're trying to sell something to better someone's life, uh, it either is or isn't. And the person who's going to buy is either going to see it or not. And the answer to them would be like, oh, well, you just went that into it. It wasn't right for you, all this. I'm like, is that the case? Is that the case? Because, I mean, people could be like, what was that one guy that was found out to be nothing more than a sham? Like what was it? I know it's like the 69 for 69 something. I can't remember. Um, but it's just one of those things where I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me. But what do I know, right? I'm just here trying to survive like everyone else. I don't got the answers, although I can sparse and talk about them and see if that does anything. But beyond that point, there's not really much else. Um, Dissecting and further treading into the human mind. Chapter 2. That brain was wacko. that brain was, that brain was wacko. All me brothers be Gotta have fun with yourself, man, because life's too short. Your ability to live beyond a day is almost nigh to zero, right? You're lucky and miscarriages and all whatnot, and that's of course the abortion stuff, but that's a different topic from that. Um, but you hear all that stuff, and it's sort of like, wow, your birth was never a guarantee in its own right, and so uh, to say you'll be here tomorrow is subjective because I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. I'm lucky every day that I get to be here. I get to see the sunrise. I've been wearing shorts for a majority of this week, even though it's cold out. It's gonna start getting colder, but um, it's been nice to be able to wear shorts. I wore shorts for Thanksgiving, and I was glad to uh, because it was pretty warm. I was around 50 degrees. But it's getting colder, so I won't be able to do it for long. But I figure I'm gonna enjoy this time where there's no snow on the ground, no ice on the ground, and there's no hecticness about it, and just enjoy it because life's too short for this bullcrap of people just thinking they have an answer. Maybe their life experience has given them something that they can share, and that's fine. Hello, I'm right here. But to sell it behind a paywall as if the answer is truly with you, I don't know. That's not the saying don't do it. Do what you want. It's your life. Well, almost do what you want. I'm not advising you to be open and go out and take out a bunch of people. No, but live your life how you see fit, because it's yours, you know, and to worry about the children whose parents were either not parents, not there, or whatever, is not my responsibility. Sure, yeah, those type of people can be voted in, do all that stuff, but I mean, you're gonna deal that with that no matter what. Even your past ancestors had to deal with that. So you figure out what you can do now and move forward. The future is always the gift that keeps on giving, but you'll never know what the gift is. And I think that's um, I think that's something to remember by, because I doubt many would. But man, uh, oh, that's right. The other thing too I want to talk about was, I do understand um, that it is, uh, when you have people do this stuff like that, they're the chat or cast whatever. I do understand now it is kind of hard to get people on to just chat with, because it's always nice to be able to bounce something off someone, right? Like um, just to chat about the world, like that one time I did with Zora, which I doubt well there'll be another time because life, when people doing their own thing. Um, but it's really nice to get the opportunity to talk to other people and kind of hear their mind on their perspectives of life. And um, doesn't mean it's perfect, no, but it's never meant to be perfect. It's meant to be a learned moment in time. Um, because after all, we don't learn if we at least aren't curious about our world around us. And people who will take advantage of that are people who would sell you the world of answers for thousands of dollars. There's no true answer other than that you're gonna die. Obviously, we're all gonna die, but beyond that point, it's a bit mix of variable things to trial and error. Oh, that and trial and error is just a big thing in humanity, but still. Um, yeah, and so I've talked to a few people, but their schedules are different or they couldn't do it or whatever. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity if anyone ever does want to uh, come on and chat and do so. Um, because after all, why wouldn't you want to learn about others? It's always something to learn, always something interesting to learn. So, uh, but yeah, I now understand what they mean by it, by how tough it is. So, could I do an hour show by myself? Maybe. Um, Probably like making funny sounds and whatnot, just entertaining myself. With gaming, there's always something to talk about during. Usually with chatting, casting, whatever, you have to have something like I was doing earlier with sharing the screen and all that stuff. But hmm, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm not. I've tried to do live videos before, and it's just doesn't. It's just not a feel right to me, because it's it's you just have to do editing and stuff. And yeah, I know editing these pop-ups, the uh silver object within that keeps you preoccupied until you're done with it. Just like, oh yeah, I want to watch more of that guy. Mm, I don't know. I do not know. But I'm going to try to make something of this regardless, whether it's playing games, whether it's just doing funny voices. Uh, Maybe I did have a thought though. Uh, People, I've talked to some people about showing face or not showing face, and then I remember there was a YouTuber who um wore sunglasses, and I thought, well, that might be interesting. They can't tell who you are, most likely, but I think, uh, give me a second. I'll 1 second. Hold on. One second. Why not? So it's almost close to going away anyway. So why not show myself a bit? Actually, give me 1 more second. Hold on. Sorry. My room will be interesting to see on camera, but what ifs? What ifs? Sorry. Just trying to move things a bit. And then I think, yeah, that'll work. There we go. So, I look ridiculous, but this is funny no matter what. I'm just gonna leave it there, just because I don't want to look this. Oh yeah, I can see myself. I can see myself seeing myself. This is hilarious. Uh, but yeah, you know what? I think I might do this. Uh, just cause. Well, I think it'd be the only worry is, someone trying to find you or swat you or whatever. I don't, that's just kind of dumb. But if you obscure yourself enough, I'm pretty sure it'd be hard to, unless they like do your ISP thing, which, haha, VPNs, baby. So, but yeah, that's what I sort of look like. I won't go any lower. I do try to keep my floor clean. Uh, well, maybe not that, but I digress. So, but anyway, that's what it looked like. I hope that's interesting to you, if at all. Cause I don't know, showing someone's face is understanding. It was like someone got SWAT called on him. I think like there's a voice actor of the game who got SWAT called on it, which is like what? It's like this the person can't play the game they're in, and then it's like yeah, SWAT's here. What? So I don't know. It's it's a weird ride. It is a weird ride, but that's the party pooper of making content is you you do something people like, and then they like you so much they call the cops on you even though you've done nothing wrong. And yeah, there you go. That's the bottom of it all. What was it? Um, oh, so I do this weird thing, hobby wise. Um, it's collecting precious rocks. Um, I've done it for quite some time. I really like it because it's a very fascinating thing to see all these precious stones, gems, whatever that are kind of all encompassed in our Earth's crust to some degree, and and it's like thousands of years, right? Thousands of years that this thing has been made, and now it's, I've bought it and it's come to my porch. So, um, one of the things is this huge chunk of rose quartz rose. I don't know where I'm at. But anyway, so a while back, I got this at a uh, gem rock store, whatever you call them. And the technical term is rock hounding, but I digress. I bought this, and it's like it's a good maybe 5 pounds at least, but you buy it by per pound, and I saw a whole bunch of other ones. There's a whole cluster on a pallet, but I saw this one. It has that smooth. It has that not smoothish flat, but it has like that flatness too. And I was like, oh, that looks pretty nice. And when it sits, it looks just looks that to me. So you know, man, you could probably use it as a weapon, but I rather look at it than hurt somebody with it because it's pretty nice to look at. It's not smooth, it's raw and all that stuff, and it's come from the ground, but I digress. It's a pretty nice thing. It's not a toy, but we can make toys almost out of anything nowadays. Just look at a gun. I mean, make a toy out of that was interesting to see because it only took like one bullet in the chamber, or whatever you call it, and then you would just pew all that stuff. But it was really interesting that how innovative we've become because we like to make things. What's that song? Stronger, faster, better, whatever. Daft Punk. Faster, better, stronger, better. No, something like that. And then smaller, obviously smaller. Um, but yeah, it's something. So it was really interesting. It's like you like phones, right? You look at the phones and you imagine back in the 80s, right? There were these huge like black things that'd be like that, right? It's just whatever. And nowadays it's so small, it's just like, it's just like that. And you figure, we've kind of condensed that black phone into a thinner size, and that's the advancement of technology. We used to come from telegrams over a wire to this. Think about that. You used to send Morse code across a cable wire to a country far, a state far away, right? Not country, state. I don't know if they had that way back in the day. Nowadays, you have cables underneath the ocean. There's huge honking cables underneath the ocean just connecting us to different countries, and whew, that's a thing in itself. So you have that, but it's sort of like this progression of the rudimentary, crude thing, and a really good show for that is sorry, I really go anime show or whatever is Doctor Stone, which if you've ever seen it, it's some mysterious thing happened. Everyone turns to stone. Senku comes alive, tries to figure out what's going on, and he starts using old technologies in this new world, so to speak. Um, but yeah, it's a pretty interesting show. There's some learned things with adult supervision, mind you, adult supervision. Um, but yeah, it's a interesting thing when you compress. We can speed up the things of where they start from to now. It's crazy. It's very crazy technology wise, and yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Where we at? Oh, that's not bad. Almost 40 minutes. I think I haven't run out of anything to talk yet. Uh, just point and stare, point and stare, point and stare. Um, no, it's just about having fun with it. Cause I tell you what, if you were to do this all the time, um, I don't do all the time. I'm thinking maybe once or twice a week, maybe more. Just depend on time, but it's the consistency. I'm trying to find that consistency, that works. So I only did it at this time because there was someone who I was hoping to have a conversation with, but the person was unable to force you to do it, and that's okay. It's after Thanksgiving, so totally understandable. But um, it was kind of just like I did it at this time, just in case you wanted to, and I'll just say she, whatever. And yeah, so I'm thinking trying to maintain it at like 7 o'clock Eastern time, and then um go from there. But I only be able to like once or twice a week, which is a weird thing because I don't know what days to do it once or twice a week. Because if you do too much, it feels like a chore. It feels like you're once again. It feels like a chore. Like you're not doing this for fun anymore. You're doing it for like, hey, look at me, notice me, I'm here. Look all over this place. Well, and all that stuff. Uh, but it's really should just be like have a conversation or play a game or whatever. Which, uh, hmm. Now I can play a game. It's Black Friday, so I actually bought an old game I really like called The Blob. And if you never played it before, um, you'll start seeing me do videos about it because it's really fun. It it may seem tedious in the manner of, hey, paint this stuff, get points, yay, all that stuff, but it's in how all the things kind of incorporate with each other and then just kind of make this really fun musical game. And you'll see why later on down the line. But today I'm just doing a chat. And that was the thing too. I think I'd explained it a while back, but it was like, what do I call it? Because it seems almost like everyone does a cast or thing or another, or not. I just feel like, what do I call it? Cast, chat, because chat seemed interesting to me, like DaraChat. But then it's like I'm part of the chat rather than the thing. But I like talking to people. It ain't all bad. But anyway, uh, I think I think that's good enough. So I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope there are times uh there are things that there were sorry that there were things in your life to be thankful for. If not, hopefully you can find something for yourself because it's not an easy holiday if you don't enjoy it or if you don't have family to enjoy it or whatever. Um, I hope your weekend goes well because I might play a game tomorrow and live stream it, but it's only because I enjoy the crowd of awesome people here. Um, what else? Oh yes, and before I go, obviously this is the tagline every content creator does, and I know it's dumb, but it's how more people get to see and stuff. So if you are there looking at your screen and saying, this guy's ridiculous, I don't care about this guy, who is he, don't matter, whatever. But you at least enjoy it sometimes, right? If you wouldn't mind to leave a like or comment or follow or all three, any of the three, whichever. If you wouldn't mind doing any of those, that'd be helpful and appreciated because one, it allows more people to see, and maybe I'll say something they like or dislike and they'll try to argue with me and we can go from there. Or maybe they'll see something they like and just like, oh yeah, this is pretty neat. But it does help. And just like with any of your other content creators, it does help. And I am, I don't really, even on my Twitter X, I really didn't count uh followers who follow me because I mean I do, but I don't do like, hey guys, I got like 10,000. Whoa. If you're along for the ride, I'm grateful for it, and I'm always glad to see you here if you come and leave a comment or a like or follow, whichever. Because it's all about having fun together. This world, you got so much on the politics, you got so much on the destruction, you got so much on the harrowing darkness that swirls our world. And it's nice when there's a little light. It's nice when there's a little light that can be fun and glow. And not just for like people who agree, but for people who disagree too, because we're all on this together. Like this blue ball, we're all on it. And until, we get invaded or otherwise right out there, this universe is gonna seem alone. And it kind of does because what else is there? Who knows? We're not too far off. We're not too far into going beyond our own moon. Sure, we sent off to something to Mars, and sure, Voyager is way off in the distance, but I mean, have we gotten to the point that we can go beyond our own our own moon with people in it? Don't know. Haven't seen it yet, but I think we'll get there. It just won't be while most of us are alive. But I do think it's pretty neat. And just like with me and my rock collection, there are people with their space exploration sort of ordeal. Like Elon Musk, I think he's wanting to go to Mars or something. Hmm. But yeah, anything, anything of that nature, like follow, subscribe, comment, any of that nature helps, and I appreciate all the same. So glad you guys came along, those who stayed and watched, and I hope to see you next time. And be safe out there, or be safe, a little kind, maybe not so punchy. I don't know. You know, I try not to be. just, I'm not. I'm not punchy. It was just funny to say. So I'm pretty damn considerate. So anyway, see you guys next time.